Hi, I'm Andrew Mertnock with Harvest Automation, and today we're going to be going over the HV-100 preventative maintenance procedure. You can find the procedure in the link below. This document is divided into three sections: the operator daily inspection, the robot technician weekly inspection, and the robot technician 500-hour inspection. So the first section we're going to be covering is the robot daily inspection. The robot daily inspection should be done by the robot operator, the person who is handling the robots every day. To do this, you should fill out the header at the beginning with the robot name, serial number, the operating hours, the date that it was done, and who it was inspected by. So first we're going to fill in the robot's name or serial number. In this case it's HAI 1058. And then we're going to fill in the operating hours. To get the operating hours, we're going to go into the admin menu, go to stats, and then you want the top number, which is the operating hours. In this case, it's 636. Then you want the date that it was done and who it was inspected by. So the first item is the SICK lens broken or scratched? Now this is the SICK lens, and you're going to be looking for scratches or damage to the SICK lens that would interfere with the signal coming from the SICK. Now, as noted, you really only want to clean with these prescribed lens wipes. Now, that's whether you're in the field or you're cleaning it for preventative maintenance. Cleaning with these prescribed wipes will help to prolong the life of the lens by not scratching it with abrasive material. This is an example of the SICK lens, and this is a good example of a scratch that would be right in the area that would degrade the performance. So anything like this is what you're looking for, plus any wear or abrasions on that lens. So the second item is, are the boundary sensors cracked or damaged? And you're going to be looking at these four orange sensor covers. And you're looking for cracks, scratches, scratches or damage to the lens. And also look in and see if you see any evidence of water or dirt inside that lens. This is a good example of damage to a lens cover that may indicate there are issues with transport or that the robot has struck something. There's no water inside of it, but it's still important to note. So the next item is, are the left and right manipulator springs broken? Now, left and right is the robot's left and the robot's right as seen from behind the robot. And you want to look right in here. This is where the manipulator spring is. And here's an example of a broken spring. You can see that the end tends to break right off. Fourth item is, are there any broke, damaged, loose knobs or buttons? And what you're looking for are any items such as the Wi-Fi antenna or any of these knobs. All of those should be tight and secured, as well as everything on the UI panel. You want to make sure that each knob has functionality and that it's not loose or missing parts. Fifth item is, are there any new dents or damage to the robot? And what you're looking for are dents or scratches to the robot, such as in this case, this rear cover is dented right in here. You can see them anywhere. They may be on the back of the e-box, they may be on the SICK cover. You really want to note these. It's important to keep track of new dents or damage to the robot in case there are problems later. The next item is the flag or flag base damaged or loose? To inspect this, you're going to want to move this around a little bit and make sure that it's not excessively loose. It should be kind of tough to pull off. Then you're going to want to make sure that this magnet is secure in the base. You're also going to want to check this washer and make sure there's no damage or movement in the flag base when you apply some pressure to it. For the next item, we're going to be looking to see, are the gripper panels or pusher bar bent and or broken? Now here's an example of a gripper panel that's actually bent inwards. And here's an example of one that's correct. You can see that in the bent one, it bends right after it's mounted. In the straight one, there's a long run. If these are bent in or bent out from there, they're going to require replacement. Now you're going to check the pusher bar to make sure that it's not bent back or damaged. If it's bent back, it won't allow the pusher bar to be placed in its rear position to pick large pots. Any one of these conditions can make it so that the robot is not picking pots correctly. So the 8th item is, do the adjustable parts of the gripper move freely? What we're going to be inspecting here is the pot diameter adjustment, and this should be nice and free to move. The handle should move up and down without an issue, and the gripper should move smoothly in and out. We're also going to be adjusting the vertical adjustment on the gripper. So to adjust these, you want to make sure that it moves up and down smoothly. One thing of note is if you try and grab this from the outside, it's going to bind a lot and be difficult to move. It's really meant to be moved grabbing the thumb tabs and moving the gripper up and down with your 2 fingers. Item number 9 is, are the tires worn to the point where the wheels are slipping? The tire life and the wear are going to vary greatly depending on whether you have foam tires or whether you have pneumatic tires. And the wheel slip is going to vary greatly depending on what kind of terrain you're on. If you're on ground cloth or gravel or concrete. So what you're really going to look for is, are the wheels slipping where the terrain is good? The next item is the Dazzle Tape on the robot missing in spots that are greater than ½ inch? ½ inch is about the size of a dime. The Dazzle Tape is this shiny tape right here. It's the gray tape all over the robot. And you're going to want to inspect all the areas on the robot and make sure that none are damaged or missing. And here's an example of Dazzle Tape that's missing or damaged and larger than ½ inch. Now the robots use this to identify each other, so if they're teaming, you run the risk of the robots colliding if it's damaged. Item number 11 is the Dazzle Tape on the end of field marker missing in spots greater than ½ inch? Again, you're looking for spots that are about the size of a dime, and you want to make sure that you note those so that they're repaired. Item number 12 is, does the boundary tape have any holes or tears in it? What you're looking for is areas, especially around the grommets, where it's been pulled and they're open or torn areas, areas where the boundary tape has been split open and there's discoloration or ingress from water, generally any abuse in the boundary tape. So item number 13 is, are there any problems with the batteries or the battery chargers? What you want to do is you want to look at these terminals to make sure there's no discoloration, there's no burn marks or corrosion. Corrosion will be kind of a green substance that's on the top. You also want to make sure there's no fractures or cracks on batteries, and that the LCDs are charging correctly, that they're both even. You also want to make sure that the charger's in a similar state. Item number 14 is there a wrench showing on the UI screen? The wrench will appear just in this corner and it'll be there as long as the robot is powered on. If there is a wrench there, note that there's a wrench. Give the robot technician a heads up that there's a fault with the robot. The next item is the shroud. And the wear indication is that they're broken or they interfere with the sensors. So you're going to inspect to make sure that the snaps are in place and that there's no tears or damage. And that when they're on the robot, they don't interfere with the sensor. So the last 2 items have to do with the use of the robot rather than the condition of the hardware. The first one is the robot stopping with the same error more than 10 times a day? If it is, you really want to contact Harvest for support. It could have to do with your plant setup or the environmental conditions or a number of different factors. So if you contact Harvest support, we'll get to the bottom of it. So the next item is the robot placing plants improperly so that the rows are not straight enough? Now, every facility has a different definition of what's straight enough. If you notice that one robot is less accurate, not placing plants to the way you would like it to, then note it down on the sheet so it can be addressed later in calibrations. So this is it for the daily robot inspection. I'm Andrew Murtnock. If you have any questions at all, please contact Harvest Automation Support and we'll give you a hand.